Hey, what's going on, guys? Doing another beer review. This one's interesting because this is called Hop Explosion and it's by Fegley's Brew Works. And if I'm not mistaken, this is Pennsylvania made. Yeah, Allentown, PA. Not too far from me. But anyway, yes, this is an IPA. And my first real IPA to boot. Cool little sticker there with the nuclear mushroom cloud. But anyway, yes, IPA, or IPAs I should say, are very popular. And IPA stands for Indian Pale Ale. And the short version of the story, because I'm sure you can find the better, long, more detailed, accurate story online, is that IPAs came from back in the day, I don't know, 1600s, let's just say, because that sounds good for now, in and around. The British, I believe, or someone was having a really hard time transporting beer way out, to India and Russia as well. But I think mainly India, at least it started with that. What was happening was all the beer was going bad. It was getting really skunky because they weren't used to these really, really high temperatures. It was extremely hot, and the conditions for the long ship rides and stuff like that, these, excursions, the beer was all going bad. So I don't know what the dude's name was, but some guy basically said, all right, I'm going to take a pale ale recipe and I'm going to do two things to it. I'm going to add a bunch more hops and a bunch more alcohol. And that was the solution to getting the beer to these destinations where the temperatures were higher. So thus was born the IPA. All right, so generally speaking, IPAs are going to be higher in alcohol, but usually they don't go past 7% ABV. This one actually happens to be 7% on the nose. All right, so it's a higher alcohol beer, and they're also very strong in hops. There's a strong hops flavor and a lot of hops in the brewing. So that's basically the gist of it. You can find much more information from experts about it, but it's really interesting to me because I know you keep hearing, IPAs and you gotta try this, and I didn't know much about it, so I had to look it up, and that's the gist of it. But it's an interesting story. I mean, this was created out of necessity. People were traveling, across the ocean in these ships, and their beer was going bad, so they got, oh, how do we fix this? And that's how they fixed it. Tons more hops, much more alcohol, but it had a very distinctive flavor, and people liked it, so they stuck with it. And Indian Pale Ale, because originally they were going to India, but again, like I said, I think Russia was a major destination, but I don't know, trades had changed over the years and whatever, the name stuck, so Indian Pale Ale. So interesting. If you didn't know that, now you do. I didn't know before, now I do. But anyway, I like the way the bottle looks. I'm very interested in seeing what this tastes like. First of all, it is higher in alcohol content, so I want to see if I can taste that. But also, like I said, I never had a really, really hoppy beer. Generally speaking, and I found that I've liked lots of different beers for different reasons, but generally speaking, I like dark beer. And the darker the better. I'm a huge Guinness fan. I love, different types of, brown beers, nut ales. I like stouts. I like bocks and double bocks. I like a lot of darker, bolder, flavored beers. I mean, I like a lot of flavor. But anyway, I kind of used to think I didn't like hops, but I never really had a really hoppy beer. So we're going to try this out. Well, no, we're not going to. You're going to watch. I'm going to try it out. Got the CRKT bottle opener here. And I want to see, by the way, this is one of the more expensive ones, $4 a bottle. I want to see if I am a fan of hops, because this will be a good representation. Whoops. Make sure it's in that bracelet. This will be a good representation of a hoppy beer. Holy hell. Man. That is a unique... Alright, that's totally different than anything I've ever experienced thus far with beer. It smells... Well, to be honest, the first thing I thought was it smells like pot. It smells like a... Kind of smells like someone spilled some beer on some White Rhino or something. Anyway, let's pour some of this. Whoop, let me get my hands straight in here. That's a really interesting smell. Of course, I like it. All right, I'm excited about this one. All right, so we have, ooh, beautiful color. It's kind of like a rich orangey, reddish, coppery color. Kind of cloudy. Hot damn, I love that smell. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I thought I hated hops. I thought I didn't like hoppy beer. Oh, I hope it tastes like that. It smells really good. All right, here we go. Okay. Well, all right, first thing I notice is that there is much more of a bitterness. And I haven't experienced this until right now, but I have read that hoppy beers tend to be very bitter, and there's a very specific type of bitterness you're getting, and you know, like, hey, there's a hell of a lot of hops in there. And that's what I'm getting now, at least I've experienced it now. This is really, really interesting. You know what, I like this. And now I'm gonna have to try some other pale ales. Excuse me, IPAs, India Pale Ales. Oh, it's really good. You know what, it's really good, but for a different reason than what I usually like my other beers for. Like, some of the darker beers, I like it because they're really bold in flavor. A lot of them are very nutty, and they're sweet. They have that good toasted malty kind of flavor going on. This one I like, but for different reasons. This is very sharp. A good example with this would be, like, let's say you like cheese. Who doesn't like cheese, right? I'm sure a couple people don't like cheese, but most of you like cheese who are watching. Let's say you like American cheese, right? Oh yeah, I like American cheese, that's good. But then you have like an aged white cheddar, and you're like, ooh, that's really good. The difference there between like regular beer, your American cheese, and then like something like this is like, it's pungent, it's very sharp on the tongue. The bitterness hits the back of the throat like almost immediately after you swallow. But it awakens your whole taste buds. I mean, it's like, whoa, what's going on? I mean, it's very in your face. It's so weird. It's so interesting. I think I like hops now. Damn it. Because it used to be easy to pick beer. Oh yeah, I'll take the black one. You know, but now I kind of like all different types of beer. I like wheat beer now. I mean, I still like all the darker beers. And now apparently I like hoppy beer. I'll tell you though, it smells just like pot. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I believe the hops, like hops, the plant and stuff, is closely related to cannabis, but you have to do your own research there. Yeah, I'll tell you what, it smells like it. That's so weird. I've never experienced this before. I don't necessarily think it tastes like it's more alcoholic, but it's a strong flavor. It's not light in any sense of the word. This is definitely a punch in the face, a punch in the mouth, and the taste buds. I can see why people like this style of beer. I can see why it's popular. It's strong, first of all, but I don't drink beer to get drunk. I drink beer to enjoy the flavor. But inherently, yes, it's very powerful or potent beer, so it wouldn't take you as much to feel the same way. But I like it a lot. It's just boom, right in the mouth. I mean, explosion of flavor. It's crazy. I like it a lot. The bitterness is very, very strong, and I think it's something you really have to get used to. But anyway, I'll milk this for a little bit and kind of sip on it. I won't chug it or anything. So I'm going to enjoy this hop explosion, and I will get back to you guys when I'm at the last sip, and we'll give my final conclusion, what I think. All right, I'm back. I got one sip left and lots of thoughts. Once again, trying hop explosion. Very unique experience for me personally. First real IPA, and totally different than what I'm used to. So. Last sip. All right. if you haven't had an IPA, try one. Try this one. I'm sure some people are gonna say, "Oh, that's crap. Try this one. It's totally better." Of course, read people's like suggestions. If one person says try this specific type of beer and then like 10 people thumbs up it, it's probably because it's good. Put it this way, I'm so intrigued by this experience, I have to try other really hoppy beers. I like it. Word of warning, I feel it. That's 7%. I feel it already. So be careful of that, all right? Just drink responsibly. Flavor profile is intense. Super, super strong, you know, very bitter. But it, you know, as bitter as it is, and it sounds very off-putting, I don't think many people like bitter as a flavor. You know, sweet's good, salty, all that stuff. Bitter is like the last one. Most people just don't like bitter stuff. But very strong to me of some kind of a citrus. I don't know if I mentioned in the beginning of the video, but it's very much like, if I had to pinpoint it, I would say like grapefruit rind, okay? Like if you bit into a grape, like didn't even cut it open, nothing, just like an apple. There's very strong grapefruit or citrusy type flavors there. The hops has a very distinguishing flavor too. I told you, it smells like pot to me. It smells just like some bud, right? My mug full of bud. But also in the flavor, very like pine, almost like pine tree, pine cone, pine sap. So you got grapefruit, pine sap. It's intense. You gotta try it. You have to try it. I'm honestly, I think I'm sold. It's not gonna be like if I had to pick like what type of beer I want, different beer for different occasions. And I think it's great that there is such versatility in beer in general. I mean, it's a mood thing. I might be in a mood for a wheat beer because I want something really refreshing and it's hot out. You know, that's where I think I would go, is towards some of the good wheat beers. If I want something that's sweet and delicious for like a dessert drink, I would definitely go with one of my darker beers, you know, like a Guinness, or, you know, some of the nut brown ales that I've had, or some of the Bocks or double Bocks. I love those. But this is its own thing. It's a totally different realm, and I'm not even sure what kind of mood I want to be in to have an IPA like this, or a really, really hoppy beer. But I like it. I like it a lot. It's scary how drinkable it is, really, and how high in the alcohol content it is. So be careful again with that. But the flavor is so intense in your face. It's full of flavor. So highly, highly recommended. If this is a bad one, I'm in for a treat because I really like this one. So if this is like a really crappy one, and all you know, serious beer drinkers can tell me that, give me suggestions because I have to try more hoppy beers. I have to. I owe it to myself because this was delicious, but in its own weird, unique way. Word of warning as well, besides the whole it's very alcoholic, is it's very intense. All right, so if you like a very subtle beer, you're gonna drink, you know, I mean, I don't know if you can, you know, have 7 or 8 of these in a row. You know what I mean? I don't know. Probably put you on your butt. But just intense flavor in the mouth. So if you're warming up to beer, definitely not like something to try. You should try some more subtle, middle of the road things. This is very much more of a specific experience that I think I don't know. You should do. This shouldn't be your first beer, basically, or if you're kind of getting into beer, this is certainly not one to start off with, because it may, if you don't like this specific flavor, it may put you off to beer in general. So it's not a representation, I think, of beer as a whole. It's very unique, and it's wonderful. I have to try more IPAs, so suggestions down below. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you soon.